we've got Ian McCartney from Painkiller Booking and Promotions, current International Band of the Month, GYRE, with us.
Thanks for having me.
GYRE has been described as a thrash band in a prog band's body. Would you say that's a fair description?
I think it's a fair description. You know, we have our 80s thrash influence. We all kind of grew up on having that in the background. And then a lot of us are also into a lot of prog bands and groove-oriented stuff. So, yeah, I would agree.
Absolutely. So what bands would you say are your main influences?
You know, it is all over the place. I can't speak for everyone, but I know, you know, Mastodon, Gojira as for bands right now, and then growing up on Metallica, Led Zeppelin, stuff like that. Stuff where bands that know how to, like, push a song, not the regular format of a song, you know, you kind of take a listener on a journey, but also not losing sight of the song itself, bands that do that.
Cool. So your self-released EP, Moire, is that correct pronunciation?
Yeah, Moirai or Moirai.
Yeah, that came out a couple of months back. What can you tell us about that?
You know, that's the culmination of a lot of work between five guys. You know, our songwriting process is a little bit different than, you know, it's very democratic. So it's an album that has a little bit of each of us on it. And, you know, it has I guess the lyrics and the whole idea of Moirai is the idea of, you know, the three sisters of fate. And the idea of kind of making sure that you are proactive in making your own choices in life. And making a way for yourself instead of letting, you know, other people or other institutions or other ideas make those choices for you. You know, you got your time here, so use it when you're here.
It's your first EP to feature your new vocalist, Ying Chi. How's he fitting into the mix?
Yeah, it definitely was kind of a blessing. You know, he worked his ass off the last 2 or 3 months right before we actually put the record out, because we had a deadline that we wanted to keep to. And he definitely spent a lot of nights working on stuff, me and him working ideas together, figuring stuff out for the song, making sure stuff was right for the song. So he's, in terms of work ethic and putting himself out there and putting in the time, which is really what a lot of band is about, just putting in the time and the effort. He was a blessing.
Now, you're also doing vocal duties in the band. How do you go about sharing the vocals and the lyric writing duties with him?
I mean, I think we're still learning a little bit at this point, but it's definitely been fun. I mean, it's been work, but when you get like harmonies down with another person and you know, they sound right, it makes it more enjoyable, even though it is a bit more effort to get on the same page and make sure things are right for the song. I think, you know, you have to realize after a while if it's your idea, someone else's idea for a theme of a song or lyrics or the way the lyrics flow, you kind of got to take yourself out of it and realize what's the best idea. And I think we're all getting better at that.
Let's
And so musically wise, what was your main goal for the EP?
Musically, I think dynamics, diversity of dynamics, and also giving everyone in the band a voice, and writing the best songs we possibly could.
Cool. And each track on the EP is filled with some pretty crazy time signatures and plenty of technically challenging sections, but at the same time you've got a constant groove and flow going on. Is that something you set out to do like during the writing process, or is that just something that comes naturally?
Yeah, no, that's definitely something we stop after getting through a certain section of a song and making a certain section of a song sound right. We're like, okay, what does it feel like? Where does it feel like this is going? We don't get into like, oh, this should be this type of signature here. This should be this here. We always just go back to the, what feels right. And that maybe goes into like the whole groove aspect of a lot of the stuff that we do. Um, you know, if it doesn't groove, it doesn't feel like, the part should be going there, then we'll find something that will.
And you've got so many layers going on in each track. How much time do you spend working on each one of your songs, and like do you struggle on deciding when they're finished?
Um, I think we all know when they're getting to that point of being finished. We start out with obviously a structure, and then put on the different layers. But each song is different. One song might take a month or so, and song might take 3 or 4 months to really get solidified. So it just depends on the song, um, and I guess all of us kind of putting in our 2 cents, and then deciding on what is actually right for the song.
Cool. And you recorded the album yourself. So what made you decide to do that?
Yeah, we've been trying to get more independent with everything we do between, especially with the recording aspect. Number one, in terms of money, saving money, but also Juan is proficient with recording stuff. So is Ying. So we want to get as much as we can get done in that regard, and you have a little bit more control over the time. You have a little bit more control over the sounds that you want. So it definitely helps. But then we always take it to guy Kevin Antresian at Backroom Studios to do a lot of the mixing and the mastering. Um, he's actually just got the gig playing guitar with Dillinger Escape Plan now, which we're happy for. Um, but yeah, so we always take it to him to get it like mixed and mastered. But we try and do as much as possible in terms of the recording aspect before then.
Cool. And you've played a fair few shows since the EP was released. How's it being received live?
Good. We're having a really good time. We're getting a lot of good response. It's always good having people come up to you after the show and just say a nice word or anything. Kind of makes it worthwhile to know that they at least enjoy it, and appreciate it.
And do you have a personal favorite track to play live?
Um, I guess maybe I Release. It's a song that's based off one of Shirag, our guitarist, one of his riffs back in the day. I guess that's the most straightforward, high energy kind of verse chorus bridge, that back into verse. So um, it's definitely fun to play. It's more high energy ones, but they're all fun to play in their own regard. Um, but that's I think maybe the easiest one to get like instantly into.
Cool. And so just to finish up, what are your plans for the rest of the year?
Play as many good shows as possible. We got a bunch more still lined up for the summer, a few for the fall, and start looking at. We already have a lot of songs on the back burner that ideas. We actually have two pretty much completed songs um, already that we're going to start recording probably towards the end of the summer, just to do all the preliminary stuff uh, and keep it rolling. Um, as long as we're having fun with this, I think we're all going to keep it rolling and just see how far it goes.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much, Ian, for taking the time to speak with me and for being our International Band of the Month. Good luck with the future, and we hope to see you down under sometime in the future.
Yeah, man, definitely. Hope so. Cameron, thanks so much for having us.